we should be live. Let's double check that we are. Yeah, we're live. So, hello beautiful people of the internets. Today, I want to talk to you about my vaporizer and my grinder. Essentially, my marijuana setup. Because a lot of people just tell me things like, hey man, yeah, I smoke weed and it makes me feel healthier and all this stuff. But I used to smoke for 10 years. And during that time, I was smoking at least like half a pack a day typically. But there were times when I smoked upwards of like 2 packs in a day. And on top of that, I was also smoking weed. And that was with spliffs, pipes, bongs, blunt wraps, just everything, you know, Dutch Master, backwood, Phillies, like just everything you can think of. Yeah, I used to smoke a lot. I did it for 10 years and I actually regret it. But I never wanted to smoke initially. I actually did it because I was rebelling against my parents as a teenager. That's how it started. And then I got addicted. So I don't recommend rebelling or smoking. But in general, if you inhale anything that's burnt, it's actually like typically bad for you. You could be inhaling burnt wood or burnt bread during your breakfast, and that's actually still like unhealthy for you. It's pretty much carcinogenic. So this beautiful cloud right here, this is the solution. If you need the anti-inflammation I need for your lungs, let's say you're an ex-smoker or something like that, and you have that problem with your lungs from just smoking so much. They wheeze a bit, they have pain. You'll feel a lot better if you vape. Like, it's night and day difference. Like, I used to cough and feel like I'm gonna die every day, and now I almost never cough. You know, like I could probably inhale, most of this bag really quick and I still will pretty much not cough because it's water vapor. It's not burnt, ashy dust. And that's a big difference. Huge difference in how it affects your health. And I'll actually get into that because I don't know if you know this, fire pretty much like the combustion, when you're burning a cigarette, let's say, or a spliff, it burns at 990 degrees Celsius. Let's say 1,000. I'll just round it up. I'm vaping this first bag at 192 degrees Celsius. So it's like 19.2%, if you will, or 19% of the temperature of fire. Burning, combustion. So the second round even of this, when I do turn it up, so I did one on 92, on 192. Let's turn this up. I usually do my second round at about 204 or 207. Typically 204. You don't want to get too hot. You don't want to pass 200 by more than that. 1 degree or a few degrees, like 4 or 7, because it'll really dry it out, and then you'll suffer the consequences later. When you inhale it, you're going to feel like you're drying out your lungs internally. So try and avoid using super high temperatures, even though it's tempting because you think it's like, oh yeah, it's just like smoking, but you're not getting the full health benefit and you're actually damaging the weed. The weed actually, I believe it's around, I've heard 80 degrees Celsius and like 160 degrees Celsius are two of the temperatures that really absorb or essentially pull out the THC that you want to get out of the herb. When you burn it at 990, you completely destroy it. You lose actually most of the THC that you want. But yeah, so this vaporizer has a remote. It's very easy to use. It's got a power button. It's got an audio button. So if you want to have that audible confirmation, every time you press a button, you can have that on. Personally, I usually have it off because it gets annoying after a while. But it's got these green buttons. I like how there's even color coding. It's got these green buttons that automatic timers to self shut down the vape in case you forget it. Isn't that brilliant? There's also like a light, as you can see back there. I'm turning it on and off. There's the fan speeds, 1, 2, 3, and 0. There's preset temperatures, 50, 100, 200, 210, 220, and 230. Again, like I said, typically you're going to use about 192 for your first bag of vape. Never use the hookah style whip. That's just awful. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but that's, in my experience, every time I tried it, it's been awful compared to the bag. But yeah, so you want to fill the first bag at about 192 degrees Celsius, and then you want to make sure on the second one you use about 204, but don't wait too long. Like when you put in the weed in this chamber, before you put this top piece on top of it here, which just lifts up, this is essentially like a screen. You'll see here, there's like a little bit of herb at the top. That's because that screen is keeping it from flowing straight into the bag. But yeah, so when you put it in the chamber where that screen covers, there's another screen under it where the weed sits on it, and in that space, the temperature doesn't actually reach your desired temperature until you've left that glass chamber, like this glassware, on it for at least 3 to 6 minutes. And this is a very important element. Like, if you don't put the weed on and leave it on there for at least 3 to 6 minutes, it's kind of like if you brew tea. You can't just brew tea and not leave it for at least like a minute or two to just soak in the tea, right? You can't just pull out the tea bag after 1 second. You'd have no flavor and lose all the benefits, all those antioxidants and such. So essentially what I'm saying is, if you have the system turned on at 192 degrees Celsius, and then you put the weed in the glass chamber, you put the glass chamber on, you put the top screen arm on, and you just leave it kind of like how it's sitting right now, kind of like just like this. You know, you don't even have to put the bag on or anything. And you want to kind of leave it like that at least for 3 to 6 minutes. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to over iron this, but I mean, seriously, guys, if you don't do this, it's not going to be hot enough. And it's like the first bag you're going to fill, it's not going to be so cloudy. See how this is kind of like, you know, a little bit milky gray in there? You want it to be like that. You don't want it to be super clear, but you also don't want it to be like burnt and just make like pure smoke in there. Like when it comes out, it should be like still kind of like greenish, light beige, maybe a little bit like brownish, but it should not even be dark brown, because that would mean you've either crisped it or burnt it, and you don't want to do that, because again, that's going to affect your health, right? And we all know if you don't have health, you have no wealth. So invest in your health before your wealth, and you'll be fine. Anyway, moving on, the grinder. The reason I chose this one is because this has blades in it. Okay, most grinders push the weed into the metal, and then it gets stuck and gummed up in there, and it's just wasting your crystals. It's really, really, really bad. But this one, the Linsec one, there are other ones who use cutting blades as well. That's all that matters. It doesn't have to be a Linsec. You don't even have to use this paid link or whatever, which would be great if you did. You'd support us, but even the few bucks we would earn if you did support us are not what are important. What is important is making sure you get a bladed grinder, because if you get the ones that push your weed together, you're just gonna lose money every time you use the grinder. If you get these bladed ones, it just cuts it, kind of like cutting carrots or something. It's basically got like 4 knives that spin as blades. I can can show you kind of like what that looks like. If I lift this, it should be from this side probably. Yeah, like if you look here, let's see if I can get this clear on camera. So there are blades. See these blades that are moving? These blades slice the kush so that you don't actually get it all gummed up in there. A lot of the ones that have these like weird triangular cone shapes and stuff like that, or like these honeycomb kind of like metal bits and stuff, don't use any of those, man. You want it to be blades. If it's not a blade, it's not gonna slice it, and if it's not sliced, you're gonna lose it, because when you squeeze it together, it just compresses and gets stuck in your grinder. So don't lose your crystals. So yeah, that's a video I've been wanting to do for what feels like kind of like months or years now. But I feel like it's really important, because I know a lot of people who are still smoking weed and they gotta stop. They think it's healthy. It's not. Like, just please try this. And it's not even expensive. People are like, what is this? Is this Volcano like the $1,000 German one? Look, I bought the $1,000 German one. I bought all the expensive handhelds and the cheap ones that were like 500 each, 200 each, whatever you name it. I've tried them all. I've even tried the Arizer handhelds. Okay, I've literally tried as many healthy vapes, if you will, or high quality vapes as I can, as well as like lower quality ones, just to see if they were better, even if they were cheaper. And this one, it's only like, you can literally see it on the screen, it's 205 Canadian dollars, which is less than 200 American. I mean, what more can you ask? It's got a remote control LCD screen. You've got everything you need, bro. You could try the hookah way. I never use it. Every time I've tried it, it was awful. Some people say if you do warm it up for 3 to 6 minutes, you know, they say 5 minutes, but whatever. I say 3 to 6 minutes, because sometimes it does warm up quick. It depends on how dry your herb is. So if it's really dry, 3 minutes is enough. If it's really moist, you need at least 6 minutes, maybe even 9 or 12. Like a good little bit of patience before you can enjoy it properly. But if you do enjoy it too early, it's okay, because you'll just have like a little bit, it'll be like a nice smell, but not actually like vaping. And then the next second and third bag, instead of just having 2 bags, you're gonna have a third one, and the second and third ones are gonna be the real vape. The first one will kind of be like this tease, where you might have wasted crystals before they were warmed up, so don't do it if you can. Try to time it right, but never wait too long. If you leave it on there for like over 30 minutes, it's gonna just get cooked, and you're gonna lose all that vapor. It's gonna just escape out the chamber, kind of like right now. It's actually very slowly losing its efficacy. Its potency is just disappearing out that glass tube right here. Very slowly right now, but I mean, you give it 30 minutes, it'll be all gone. So don't waste it. Make sure you get that second bag if you do it right, or third bag if you do a first one too early. Just right, and yeah, enjoy responsibly. Make sure you're not doing this before something important, so that you don't mess up your day. Especially if you're very weak with your tolerance when it comes to vaping. But I'll tell you right now, many people are like, does it get you high like when you smoke? I'm like, bro, it gets way higher than when I smoke, bro. Smoking destroys the THC because it's too hot. People don't know the physics of it. They gotta get down to the nitty gritty and understand what is actually happening when you burn it, because you're actually destroying most of what you're looking for. So yeah, take it from me, try it. Arizer Extreme Q is the best, tool to essentially get high and heal yourself using marijuana, if that's your thing. You can use it for other stuff too. So people use it to diffuse many different things, like herbs or things like that. Let's say, for example, lavender. So people, use it to just diffuse lavender in a room. And there's a different cup. You can actually see it right here. There's a cut that kind of comes with it right here, and it diffuses into the whole room, the smell, instead of having like this closed chamber with screens. It's just ready to go. But you'd probably want to use like fan level 1 on that so it doesn't blow everywhere. Also, make sure you never turn on the fan while this top arm is off. If you do that, your weed's gonna go flying everywhere and you're gonna have a bad day. So don't do that ever. .com. Anyway, I think I've covered all the essential bases here. If you do have any questions, please hit the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Have you found a better vaporizer? Please, like, I'm not even kidding. I've spent probably over the years somewhere in the realm of $4,500 to $6,000 just trying out different vapes to just stay healthy. Cause yeah, health is greater than wealth, and I mean you can get wealth if you have health. So if you don't have health, you're kind of screwed. So invest in your health before everything. I suppose invest in family as well. That's your future health. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna cut it there. I don't want to ramble. Enjoy responsibly and stay well and blessed, guys. Cheers.